Hello and welcome to Sports Hub. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to welcome you to this lovely program, Sports Hub. My name is Modern Ntapechela Sinkala, Mwana wa Kwilanzi. Well, a lot has been happening in the world of sports, and just today we woke up to the sad news of Enoch Mwepu being advised to hang up his boots, and it's a sad situation really for Enoch Mwepu, who many Zambians were thinking he would rescue the team for the next 10 years or so, because he's only 24, but because of a heart condition, he's unable to continue. Very, very sad indeed. So today I'm featuring a female basketballer who has played basketball home and abroad. She'll be joining me shortly. Make sure you stay with us. Feel free to participate on the program by calling 0211 25 30 25 or 0211 25 08 43. You can also send us a WhatsApp message. The number is +260 955 20 29 04. If you are into Facebook, send us your comments on Sports Hub Facebook page. So there's a post there regarding today's program. You just go under that post, you pass a comment regarding the photo question for today. And then you can also go to Modern Sinkala Sports. We'll be so glad to hear from you. Let's recap on last week's question photo. I asked you to identify the sportsman on the photo. So I'll give you the answer. That man is Amon Simuto, Zambia's only chess grandmaster up to now. Born on January 6, 1982, Amon is the first grandmaster from sub-Saharan Africa and the third black chess grandmaster in history, after Maurice Ashley and Pontus Carlson. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Economics and Finance from the University of Texas at Dallas and a Master of Science in Economics for Development from the University of Oxford. So that's Amon Simtowe. Who is going to challenge him to be the next Grandmaster? We are yet to see. So I have another one for you for today. Can you manage to identify her? This time I'm giving you a female. Who is that female sportswoman on your screen? Can you manage to identify her? The numbers are simple: 0955 2029 04, 0955 2029 04. That's on WhatsApp only. But if you want to call me directly, it's 0211 25 30 25 or 0211 25 08 43. On Facebook, it's Modern Sinkala Sports or Sports Hub Facebook page. We'll be waiting to hear from you. But let's look at what happened over the weekend, some results that we have for now. Let's start with rugby. In the Kansanshi Rugby Club, Mawanga 7-a-side rugby tournament on Saturday. It was in the men cup, so there were three categories. In the men cup, in the semi-finals, it was Kansanshi A7 and Diggers A14, Red Arrows A12, Mufulira Leopards 26. In the final, it was Diggers Men at Work 7, Mufulira Leopards 17. So Mufulira Leopards are the champions of the Kansanshi Rugby Club Mawanga 7-a-side rugby tournament. Then in the plate final, it was Red Arrows B27, Kansanshi B nil. So Red Arrows B there shining. Then in the women's final, it was Red Arrows 21, Mufulira Leopards 12. It's always a battle when these two teams meet. Let's now go to basketball. In the Midlands Basketball Association, Week 9 results played on 8th and 9th October 2022. In the Super League, it was Bulldogs 93, Heroes Play United 90. What a tight game it was. Then Matero Magic 71, Huskies 42, LCC Looters 49, Matero Warriors 56, Hawks 57, Green Buffaloes 83, Napsa Hurricanes 76, Red Arrows 68, Unza Pacers 74, Munali Suns 79. Another tight game. In the Feminine League, Magic Sparks 46, then Dolphins 62. So the guest I'm having today plays for Magic Sparks. We'll ask her why her team is not performing very well despite having the veterans like her. So it was Magic Sparks 46, Dolphins 62. Hotspurs 49, Unza Hanis 61, Napsa Breeze 50, Mystics 37. From basketball, we go to the CAF Confederation Cup in football. So on Sunday, Zesco were away in South Africa and they were facing Royal AM, and they forced a new odd draw. So the reverse fixture will be played this Saturday at 15 hours at Levi Manawasa Stadium. So it will be Zesco United versus Royal AM. Any win for Zesco United will see them put through to the next round. Let's go to the MTN Super League Week 7 results. On Saturday, it was Power Dynamos 0, Kansanshi Dynamos 0. So this one was an explosive one because there were all Dynamos and the Dynamos exploded and it ended in a new state of affairs. Muza 1, Nkana 0. This is another shocking result. Nkana losing. Things are not well at Nkana. Nkwazi 0, Zanako 0. So Emmanuel Munike recording a draw there. Lumwana Radiance 2, Buttecon 0. Things are not well at Buttecon. Red Arrows 1, Green Buffaloes 1. This was a battle, a military affair. The soldiers and the airmen. Forest Rangers 1, Nchanga Rangers 0. This was another interesting battle of the Rangers, but the Rangers from the forest defeated the Rangers from Chingola. And then Prison Leopards 3, Chambishi 1. Prison Leopards have continued doing very well and they are on top of the table. Green Eagles 0, Kawe Warriors 0. This game was played on Sunday. Let's go to the second tier. That's the FAS National Division 1 League Week 7 results. On Saturday, which was the 8th of October, it was Aguila Stars 0, City of Lusaka 0, Kafue Eagles 1, Mutondo Stars 0. Then Indeni 1, Lusaka Dynamos 0, Martin Piri scoring for Indeni. Mufulira Wanderers 1, Kafue Celtic 0, Patson Kwaitane scoring in the 34th minute. Zesco Malaiti Rangers 0, Young Green Buffaloes 2. This game was live on this very channel, TV3. And the goals, both goals were scored in the second half by team captain Robert Magadani. Then Atletico Lusaka 1, Jumulo 3. And on Sunday, it was Livingston Pirates 1, Bats FC 0, Konkola Blades 1, Kito United 1, Impulungu Harbour 0, Trident 1. Let's go to the English Premier League now. On Saturday, it was Bournemouth 2, Leicester City 1. Leicester City, that's where Patson Daka plays, and Patson Daka scored the only goal. Too bad that Leicester City lost. Then Chelsea 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Manchester City 4, Southampton 0, Newcastle United 5, Brentford 1, Brighton and Hove Albion, the team that Enoch Mwepo has been playing for, 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. On Sunday, it was Crystal Palace 2, Leeds United 1, West Ham United 3, Fulham 1. Then Arsenal defeating Liverpool by 3-2, and Arsenal have continued to be on top of the table. Everton 1, Manchester United 2. Then tonight, as I'm talking right now, it's 9 minutes gone. Nottingham Forest are facing Aston Villa. So that game is live right now as we are talking. Then in terms of under 20, they're doing very well, competing at the COSAFA Youth Championship in Eswatini. So far, they've played 2 games and they've won both of them. So Zambia first beat Mauritius by 3-0, went on to beat the host Eswatini by 2-0, and tomorrow, Tuesday, at 15:30 hours, they'll be facing Botswana. So a win for Zambia will just be a cherry on the cake because they've already made it to the semi-finals. And when they reach the final, it will mean they'll have qualified for the Africa Youth Championship. So wishing the under 20 all the best, and let me dedicate them a song done by various artists, and this one is titled Bola Nalesa, dedicated to the under 20 as they take on Botswana tomorrow.
Jazzy boy,
Zambia, Zambia, Kiburu, Wagwa, King Dande, Kayambo,
the king of the dance hall,
Felix Feligo, Mangwa. Let's go, Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. chikulu chechipapa Zambia indicho mupira Zambia atachi mupike bola ekunkulu shamuele tula mupike awe nativa Zambia nativa Zambia
Big Bola Batea is back by Juju. If we're Bola Tutea is back by fire. Bambi Bashinte La Voodoo. If when you know, okay, no voodoo. I got to take na basungu. Bola ni lesa tepi sungu. Nangula tangi Bola ni nainde. Nangula yiga gare. Bola ni nainde. Nangula tangi Bola ni nainde. Nangula yiga gare. Bola ni nainde.
Bola ni paise, tunewina lelo. Bola ni paise, tunewina. Bola ni paise, tunewina Zambia. Bola ni paise, tunewina.
bola lalesa bola Zambia win bola Zambia tea bola
Bola ni paise, tunewina lelo. Bola ni paise, tunewina. Bola ni paise, Zambia, tunewina lelo. Bola ni paise, tunewina.
akasenda akasevo akamyamuta akapanda striker akatrapo abasenda abapiko pambasta akatununa kipa aluka kabola kangena wele
Iyo bola, iyo bola, iyo bola. Chako shokunenuka, imbigila mwana. Panda bola, ikata bola, sunga bola, iyo bola. Bola ni paise, tunewina lelo. Bola ni paise, tunewina. Bola ni paise, tunewina Zambia. Bola ni paise, tunewina.
bola lalesa bola Zambia win bola Zambia tea bola
Bola ni paise, tunewina lelo. Bola ni paise, tunewina. Bola ni paise, Zambia, tunewina lelo. Bola ni paise, tunewina. Chako shokunenuka, imbigila mwana. Panda bola, ikata bola, sunga bola, iyo bola.
Jazzy Boy Production, ladies and gentlemen.
Sugar sounds. Oh yeah.
Halabola ilawa manga mlewina. So wishing the under 20 all the very best tomorrow. All the guys that are there. So far, so good. So they've scored, from the 2 games, they've scored 5 goals without conceding any. So we believe that as they face Botswana, it will be an easy tie. So time for me to welcome my guest in the studio. She is a female basketball player who has played basketball home and abroad. At the moment, she's playing for Magic Sparks basketball team. She has also been mentoring young basketball players. Her name is Thanzo Msundwe. Welcome to Sports Hub, Thanzo. You can see the height, that's a basketball height and netball. You can come and join me here.
Thanks, Modest. It's always been a pleasure.
Pleasure is mine too. I'm happy to host you. Yeah. So for starters, we would want to get your background, who Thanzo Msundwe really is. Where were you born from? When was that? Where did you grow up from?
Even this?
Yes, people have to know you. Yeah.
Well, I was born in Livingston sometime in November, a few years back.
Birthday loading.
Yes. And I I did most of my education in Eastern Province, though I did part of my primary in Livingstone. So I'm basically a Livingstonian. But as I went through to higher secondary school, I went to Chipata at St. Monica's. Then after that, I was selected to go to University of Zambia. I attended University of Zambia. That was the most challenging time, but the best, I would say, of my academic life.
What were you studying?
I was studying psychology. I was a student for psychology and sociology. So I have great interest in psychological assessment, and I love doing mind games. So be careful.
Okay, so very educated. Tell us about the sports background. How did you get into sports?
Well, my father was this person who loved sport. I must say, my older brothers told me that he was a manager for a team called Livingstone Motor Assembly. It is a long time ago. Okay. Yeah, he had huge interest in sport, and the guys in the house, my brothers, played sport as well. But more interestingly was my older brother, because if I'm the shortest in the family.
If you are the shortest, I'm imagining the rest.
So because of the height, it seems at his school, he was at Hillcrest, they sort of inducted him into playing sports and playing basketball. And you know, when you are a young sibling and your brother does all those things, you try to imitate. And I was sort of his assistant whenever he was training his basketball. And sometimes I would go with him to practice. And I sort of learned a lot just sitting watching them, watching the coaches coach him. Then when the time came for me to play basketball, it just came in naturally for me. Yeah.
So basketball is the first sport you ever thought of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You've never tried other sports?
Actually, I've tried lawn tennis.
Okay.
When I finished grade 12, I joined my sister here in Lusaka. Just for a moment, I was just waiting for my results, my grade 12 results. Then I started playing tennis at Matero Boys. We were with Kazembe. We were in the same court with Kazembe.
Oh, really? Edgar Kazembe?
Yes. And we used to train from Matero on Saturday. Then they take us to Lotus to meet the coach, Coach Patel. He was very good, and I was really strong with the racket. My backhand, my setting were very strong. But something happened on the way. You know, tennis is a team sport. It's a individual sport. Yes. So I wasn't feeling well during a tournament, so I couldn't proceed. And it got me worried to say, so every time I'm not feeling well, I cannot play tennis. So that sort of shut down my interest in tennis. Then I developed interest in team sport, because even if I'm not there, even if I'm not well, the team still remains the team. They still go and play. I think that became the core of my interest in the team sport. I didn't have to work as much as I didn't have to work too much. Yeah. Right.
So you were inspired by your brother to get into basketball.
Yes.
Right. What was your entry point?
Well, I joined basketball when I was playing school basketball. But by the time I was in my early teens, I joined a club. And by then, I think it was called Barclays.
Where was that? In Livingstone or
Lusaka? No, in Lusaka, here in Lusaka. Barclays Bank had a sports club. And they were sponsoring Matero Magic and a women's team. So that team, I started trying to try out so that I can join that team. It was the hardest thing I've ever done when it came to sports, because the ladies were really good, and they were professionals. It's not like this time when even if somebody just comes today, tomorrow they are on the team. I think it took me about 4 seasons
4 seasons.
4 seasons. And that 4 seasons, the time our coach allowed me to play was because this was a tight game between, I think, Lutresses. By then, Lutresses, it is under the council.
Yes,
it was
LCC,
under LCC, yes, and versus Barclays. And it was a tough game, competitive. So all the big guys in our team were fouled out. And I had only, and the coach looked in the direction of the bench and saw me at the end of the bench and said, Thanzo, don't mess up. So imagine the clock. The clock was 3 seconds.
3 seconds to go.
3 seconds. And they needed that tight defense because it was sort of 54, 55. So if the 3 seconds elapse, the other team wins. And I always talk about it, that this was my defining moment, over 3 seconds. So what I did was I just got in and the person passed me the ball and I took a jump shot. I love jump shot. I took a jump shot and it went in, but it was a tight game, so I was fouled. I went to the line and missed, but the team won. It ended 56-55.
What a
but I never played again from that.
Did you disappoint or you?
No. It's just that the team was very competitive. And you know, in basketball you have positions. And my position, like I'm a forward, there were bigger women and better players on that position. So it was really difficult for me to break through that team. But I
can just imagine. Can you remember some of the names?
Besa. There was Besa. There was Prudence Mulenga. There was Pamela. I can't remember her last name, but Pamela. They really played good. They inspired me. They challenged me. And sometimes they made me work hard, because when I see them working, I'm like, I think I need to push better than this. Yeah, but they really played. They really inspired me. And when I look back, I really appreciate them being tough on me, challenging me and all that, because it really changed the way I played basketball.
So what did you do to break into the main team?
Okay, so since I had just finished my grade 12, so...
Which year was that?
That was in 2000.
Okay.
I was admitted at University of Zambia. I was still in Chipata by then, because home had become Chipata. My parents retired and they retired in Chipata. So we sort of had, we had a school team called Honeys. Oh, by the way, I played for Honeys. From first year.
Yeah. Unza Honeys.
Yes. It was a school team. So from Honeys, I continued playing with the club, but I saw that there was too much demand from my school, schoolwork and crossing over, going to play club basketball. It was just exhausting. So my brother helped me actually to make that decision, because he was authoritative. Like, no more basketball this side, basketball has to be within the school grounds. That's all. So I looked at it, instead of looking at it being like I wanted to play this side, it became sort of a positive to say, okay, let me concentrate on school and see how much basketball I can play.
So that's how you left Barclays without playing a competitive game?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Then joined Unza Honeys.
Unza Honeys.
And how was your experience there?
That was amazing. Unza was amazing. And you know, the monks, they used to bring it down with support even if you are losing. But the thing is, the school team was so great, but I think it was a time when they decided to transition the team into the league, because they needed more women team. So after they transitioned the team into the league, it was a tough beating, really, because we sort of went season to season not winning a single game, but we really gave them a good run, which was interesting. But now, as you know, Honeys went up to become one of the biggest teams in the country. They dominated in women basketball, which I'm really happy. I'm always happy to see, and I really relate to them. Say, oh wow, I remember the days when we would just encourage one another, say, we are going to play. The fact that we are here, that's enough a win for us. And it was just amazing. So
you didn't achieve anything at Honeys during your time?
No, we didn't win any league games, but we won all our college games.
All right. From there, where did you go next?
From there, when I graduated, I was torn between going professional basketball or going into career, an actual working career. So my advisors and mentors, I have had a lot of mentors and advisors in that space. So most of them advised me to say, if you don't try, you won't know. So my first trip was to Angola. I never knew about basketball in Angola, but we hosted Zone 6 game qualifiers for the Afro Basket. Then I met some coaches who really became interested in me because of my height. So, and they asked me certain questions and actually invited me to go to Angola, to try out in Angola. And when I went there, I was a young rookie and excited about everything.
Which year was that? That should have been 2008.
2008, 2009, somewhere there, yes. So there I was part of a club called Makulusu. It was third in the league by then. Was
it based in Rwanda?
It was based in Rwanda.
Okay.
Yes. I think I had a dream that I wanted to be a sportswoman, like 100%. When I was at Makulusu, there's a lot of work that you need to do to stay on top of the game. And being there sort of changed my game, because there I met coaches from different countries, like different level of coaching. And as you know, Angola they have been African champions for a while, so they are culture
#1 in Africa at the moment. Not so.
I think they are number. Let me see. I think if not 4.
Okay.
If not 4, then must be between 3, 4, somewhere there in Africa. But there's very good basketball culture. And in order to improve my game, because my game seemed to be a bit at a low level, yeah. So I had this basketball heart and this technique that they appreciated, but they felt I still needed a little more training. So I was put under a program with, they call it Iniciado, but that's for the young ones. So to help me build my handles, because I couldn't play forward in Angola because they were forwards. But I could play guard. So I had to learn to be reoriented into that position. That it was interesting, but before I could take up an actual role, I played a few tournaments, played some games, but I guess the challenge there was the weather, and not even the weather, the climate. Angola is hot. It's close to the waters. It's just a different environment. When you land, you're actually feeling like I'm in a different country. Zambia.
So you failed to adapt.
I sort of failed to adapt, but here and there I was down a bit with malaria. The type of malaria that is there was something unique. So the coaches felt I needed to return home until I get better. That's when I would return back there. So after that, my next expedition was to Mozambique. I went to Mozambique.
So how many years did you spend in Angola?
About 2 to 3.
Okay. What did you learn in that 3-year period?
I started speaking Portuguese, actually.
Okay.
Yes, and because the coaches spoke no other language apart from Portuguese and French. So it was difficult for me to communicate with them. So we had to call someone from South Africa to translate certain things for us, and sometimes we'd use Google Translator to translate. But I put it upon myself to learn the language. Then I learned how to speak Portuguese. It was interesting because I started getting some invites over translating English, Portuguese, Portuguese, English, and it just kept on going.
Wow. Okay. So your next trip was to Mozambique.
Yes,
in
Mozambique,
Maputo?
in Maputo. So I was there, but that one was a bit short. The time I moved to Mozambique was I was already engaged in another job. So the time that I could take off work was not that much, but I was still interested in finding myself through sports. So I went to search the Mozambican waters to see if that's where I would fit. And there actually, there's very good basketball for women. You'd hear a crowd, like a stadium buzzing. You think it's the guys playing. When you go there, you find the ladies are playing and everyone is cheering them, which was, yeah. And mainly throughout the whole process, I started noticing the programs that each country had in relation to girls and, okay, let's say young people, in order to develop the sports from secondary school through to the club. It's like parents already know that the child at such a time will be going to the club to play basketball. Okay. Yeah.
And I'm sure there you adapted easily because they speak Portuguese and you had learned how to speak Portuguese.
Yes. And most of them, because I was also playing in the Zambian national team. So every time we travel, we'd meet different people from those countries. So it became really easy. And it's not like I was going in a space where I didn't know anybody. There's always people I knew because of basketball. Okay. And they would help me out.
Right. Yeah. And what made you come back to Zambia?
Well, what made me come back was I would say family. Family made me come back. I'm a single mother. I have a daughter. So I had to come back for her. Okay. Yeah, it was a difficult decision to make, but...
and that's her there.
It was a difficult decision to make, but she needed me and I had to return home, which was very... I think it did me well, because there were other decisions that became easy to make because I aligned them with her. I said, okay, let me give myself time for her to grow and be at a certain age, and now that's when we can at least travel together.
Okay. Yeah. How old is she, and is she into sport?
No, she's not interested in sport. She's interested in everything, in technology, social media. And she's just different from me. She's more of no sports. But when I ask her, she says she exercises. Okay. But I've never seen her exercise.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've not inspired her into sport.
You know what? I've heard that some coaches have been to her school and she has played basketball with them. So I asked, but why don't you play when you come here? She says, no, I'm not interested. I don't want. Me, I feel maybe because I'm a mother, and there's that thing where I might be controlling. Okay. Yeah, but I'm not controlling. I just allow her to be herself and make decisions and support her.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so when you came back, which club did you decide to join again?
When I came back, actually, by the time I was leaving, I had already moved from Hannies to join Shells Basketball. So by then, Shells was just starting. No, it's actually not starting, but it was progressing. But they were still trying to win some championship, things like that. I felt I was more belonging, but I did a lot of consultation with coaches, different coaches that mentored me. I talked to them, and everyone felt like that was the team to join. So
yeah, because Shells at some point was the most happening women's team
yes.
in Zambia.
Yes, we sort of built a family. If I meet someone who are on the same team, if I don't tell you that this is not my sister, you won't know, because we built a family. We were people who sort of transitioned from school to work, family, all those things, and we sort of grew up together, and that bond we created a family. It was amazing because we took that even on the floor when we are playing. You can actually see the way we would work together on the floor.
Okay. Yeah. From Shells, where did you go to? And I know Shells, they are using their traditional, is it orange or is it gold color, the jazz color?
It was white and some part was orange, but depending, because you know BSA, it was called BSA Shells.
Yes, I remember it used to be called BSA Shells.
It was from an NGO that yes. So some people would donate jerseys to us. It wasn't a sponsored team; it was a community team. So we started sort of, we wanted to get the team ahead, but we didn't have sponsors, so we decided to just work together as a team to make the team give, and well-wishers would pay things for us, and our coaches also did a lot. We had 2 coaches that were very strict, and they really helped us through to make Shells what it was.
Okay, from Shells, where next?
I went to Magic Sparks.
The women in blue.
The women in blue.
Okay,
I'll say that, you know.
Magic Sparks there, and I can see you are standing behind.
But you
1, 2, 3, 4, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
But you know, Magic Sparks, I think I've been part of Matero, like Matero Magic, for a very long time. They just never had a female team.
Okay.
Yes. So them having Magic Sparks sort of complemented something that had already existed. So when I moved from Shells to go to Magic Sparks, people were saying, welcome home.
Okay.
Welcome home. Because if you remember, I started first with Matero to get into sports. When I was playing tennis, there they had basketball, they had so many things. But it was a men's team, not a women. They didn't have a women's team. So they say, now it's time. Here is Magic Sparks. Let's see now what's happening. So it's something that is dear to me, because one of my mentors was the person that started the team. He sort of had this love to build women basketball, and thought by having a team would extend girls' participation in basketball. So by then we moved from 2 teams, from 5 teams, 6 teams, it kept on going. So he always supported new teams coming up that were for females.
So how has been your experience at NAPSA? No, at
so you're a NAPSA supporter?
No. you know, NAPSA sometimes they wear blue as well, so I get mixed up.
Yes, they wear blue.
Yeah.
So we are all the blues and white.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at Magic Sparks, how has been your experience? And obviously playing with the likes of Aminata Diaby, still with Magic Sparks.
Well, she's
Mary Chawai Pira, Magic Sparks.
Yeah. But now they've all moved to, Mary has moved to Dolphins.
Dolphins?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think Magic Sparks sort of initiated me into team administration, because the owner of the team always gave me the responsibilities to administer a lot of things around the team. So I learned how to do some clerical work, take some decisions, do a lot of things, because he envisioned me in proceeding to do that. I'm just in between learning to coach. I can coach, but I have a passion to coach kids, because I understand and know how best to help them. Yeah. And besides that, I have a background of child psychology as well. So
are those some of the kids that
those are some of the kids. During that time, we were scouting for Zambian girls to be admitted on the NBA Girls Program Academy. So we're looking at starting something that will bring the girls, so that we mentor them and get them ready for the game. So we are working with coaches. I really appreciate what the academic coaches are doing with girls, and bringing opportunity to them sort of is now one of my objectives. So if by the different international participation I've been through, I try all the time to lobby and talk about girls basketball in Zambia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, before we come to the projects that you are handling that now, what are some of the things that you've achieved on the court? Any medals, any most valuable player awards and all that?
It's funny. It's funny that I've never won anything like that, but the people I've played with have won that.
Okay.
So, if a point guard plays well with me, they've gone to win an MVP. They've gone to win because I'm really a defensive player, and I do assist. I do a lot of assist, but to be honest, I have more team achievements than personal achievements. I've come to understand myself that that's who I am.
Okay.
I'm not always personal focused. I'm always team
player.
focused.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a team, you've won some titles with which teams?
I think the best of all has been Shells.
Okay.
We won a lot of cups for the national championship and the league title. And on sports level, like I said, for me, it has always been a team thing rather than a personal thing. So when the team wins, we win.
Okay.
And I think now it's going to change because the federation and NBA and all the associations have sort of started getting statistics of who does what and who scores that. So it's easy for them to see the progression of each player. So no matter how many assists I give you, you go and score, they will know that the assist came from me.
Okay. So your favorite position has been being a forward or in defense? What has been your favorite position?
I always want to be a guard,
Okay.
a point guard.
Okay.
I always tell my coach, I don't know why you don't make me a point guard. Before I retire in basketball, I have to be a point guard, but he always says no. But you know, they are smaller people, so every time I would find myself going back. Actually, when I started practicing with my brother, he was teaching me to be a point guard.
Okay.
But when I joined the actual basketball, I found that, for instance, my teammates, I couldn't play on top. I had to play base.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell us, any experience with the national team?
Yes, I was a team captain for the national team for a while. Then we went to different tournaments. We played zone games here in Zambia. So those are basically, but I'm looking at a time when this wind is going to change and make women participate more in international basketball. I've heard the leaders in women basketball and in federations talk about their plans to promote women basketball, which I'm excited about. And we'll see how that goes. We hope women will participate more in international basketball.
To be honest, from the time I started practicing journalism in 2007, I've never seen a women national basketball team.
We have, because the tournaments that I last participated in were in 2014. Yes, 2014, and it was an international tournament here in Zambia.
Okay. All right. What has been your favorite hairstyle during your playing days?
My favorite hairstyle? I like cornrows.
Okay.
You know, the cornrows. I like cornrows.
What are cornrows? Oh, mukule.
Mukule. I used to like, then you weave them across, then they go down like that. I used to love that.
That was before you ventured into dreadlocks.
Actually, dreadlocks I'm now like a year and a half in dreadlocks. It's just some decisions. I became interested in keeping natural hair. And my hair sometimes would be so coarse, so I decided to say, let me see if I can lock it. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us about the projects you are involved in. But before that, you recently there were elections. You participated
Yes.
in those elections?
Yes, I did.
What position were you aiming for?
I was aiming for women and youth, women and youth. Mm-hmm. Yes, but I was up against a worthy opponent, very credible in his work. He inspires me. He has actually taught me a lot of the things that I do, and I feel he sort of allowed me to learn what I'm doing, and I appreciate that. And he scooped the position. I believe it was totally out of merit, not that because we're standing against a woman. I've always believed that I'm credible enough to stand as a competitor, not being stereotyped as a woman. So I feel out of credit that I actually was like, if I do something, then that's something.
You lost to Mwape Consolo?
Yes, Mwape Consolo.
Okay, right. You know, keep trying, keep trying. Tell us about the projects you are handling.
Yeah, so part of there's an initiative by FIBA under ZBF. It's called Her World, Her Rules. And
that's what we are seeing there.
Yes,
Her World, Her Rules. What is it about?
It's promoting women basketball and participation in women. So there are women issues, so we are trying as much as possible to engage teams, to sort of work with women teams so that we are able to create an ecosystem that supports women basketball. And so for this weekend, we are going to, tomorrow falls the International Women's Day, but we'll run an event for girls between the age of 6 to 15, 13 to 15. And
International Women's Day in basketball?
No, it's just international women.
What about
girls, international girls.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
I was thinking of 8.
No. That's high. But this one is just for girls. So the actual event will take place on Saturday. I think you've seen the news where they were talking about, I think Danny Pedo talked about trying to reach 200 girls. Yes, so we'll be running that over the weekend, and we'll have 2 places for a start. I'm excited, though it's not much, but there is one that will be taking place on the Copper Belt, then the other one will be taking place here in Lusaka on Saturday at Zamsho.
Right, there's another project again you are running. You seem to be running in a lot of projects.
So after my trip to the US, we recently went to the US for a sports diplomacy. There I met...
And that, is that the team which went to the US? Is
yes,
that in the US?
Those are the girls that went to the... That's Precious, that's Sonja and Francisca. And that's one of WNBA MVP. That's Tamika Catchins. She's well known in the basketball arena, in women basketball, and internationally, yes. So she was one of the facilitators of the camp for basketball. So after I participated also in the NBA Africa.
That's the one there?
Yes, that's the one there. And at this one, I was the assistant coach to the All-Star team, in the All-Star team, and our team won. So I started thinking of how can we bring international basketball to Zambia? Because, look, if there's an event like this, they'll pick 1 or 2 players. When they come back, we don't know what happens to them. So this sort of gave me a light to say, I think it's time we start planning in those areas to see how we can bring international to Zambia and make the kids benefit more, not just 1, not 2, but many. We also have a forum where everyone that participated in the Basketball Without Borders NBA Africa camp, where we meet and we sort of put back the...
And that's interesting. There says, today 5 Zambian young women and a mentor will travel to New Jersey in the United States to participate in a 2-week basketball youth camp as part of the Sports Diplomacy U.S. Department of State program. Awesome. I'm sure you enjoyed over there.
Yeah, Yes, we did. We enjoyed, but especially for me, it was an achievement because this has been my cry. I want to see equal participation for girls in sports, and seeing them go international. That's still amazing for me.
Right.
And we're still working on so many things. And right now, like I said, after this trip, I came up with girls mentorship program. We want to look at how we can make the experience of young girls in basketball better. We didn't have it easy, but we can try because there are a lot of projects and things happening around right now that supports girls.
Okay, have you also been giving free sanitary pads?
Yes. That's the other thing that is part of the program. We are looking at when a girl misses practice due to periods, she also misses school. So we are doing the phase of protect to play and to learn. So during the basketball season, we want to be distributing sanitary towels to the girls in YBL, in the Youth Basketball League.
Great.
Yeah.
Apart from basketball, Thanzo, what else do you do?
Well, I'm a businesswoman, an entrepreneur.
That's inspiring. Okay. Okay.
That's my bread and butter.
Okay.
Everything else is voluntary, totally voluntary work that I do. I do it out of passion, and it just motivates me, inspires me to see a girl make a good decision.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm an entrepreneur, and I run an education business.
I can see women in tech.
Yes.
Hey.
So this was
women in technology.
Yes, women in technology. So during the COVID, my business transition. We moved completely to become a tech company. Right. So we are running an edutech. So we are helping improve the learning experience for girls.
Okay, as we go, Thanzo, what would you want to achieve? The biggest thing you want to achieve in basketball, very quickly.
Well, the biggest thing I want to achieve in basketball, I think, is increase women participation in basketball. That would be my number one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanzo, thank you very much for coming through to Sports Hub. Hope we'll engage you in one of these days to see how your projects are moving on.
Yeah.
All right. So I was hosting Thanzo Msundwe, a basketball player. By the way, she's still playing, but I'm sure she's nearing nearing the end of her career. She wants to focus on uplifting young women in basketball. So until next week, when we come with a different guest, my name is Modern Sinkala. But remember to send me the answers for that photo I showed you. Identify that photo. I'll be able to read the messages next week. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye for now.